How you doing?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Currently feeling phenomenal.
Amazing. Well, let's get to know you. Who are you?
I'm Adam Brower, the founder of Adam Brower and Associates. I'm a luxury realtor, luxury and also regular realtor here in LA.
Amazing. A little bit of a personal side of you is what is your astrological sign?
My sun sign is Sagittarius. I'm a Scorpio rising, and in case you're curious, a Libra moon.
Amazing. And what is your coffee order?
So I had an extraordinary latte a couple weeks ago. It potentially the best latte of my life, and I would repeat this order: 2 shots of espresso, cinnamon and honey inside, whole organic milk frothed with a dusting of cinnamon on top. It was just delicious.
You make me want one now.
I want one now.
So let's get into your business side. How and what got you into real estate?
So, real estate for me was never a goal. Actually, I remember talking to a friend in college who said he was getting into residential real estate, and I was thinking, what a bad idea. So, I got into film. I got into music and film and television, and in 2019, after a series of really rough experiences with large films that I was producing dying in pre production, I decided I needed an exit strategy. In film, my specialty was selling pitches. So I would sell an idea, a concept for a story, usually with the director, always with the writer, to a studio, and how I would have Universal buy it from us. It's a very challenging sale. You're walking into a very cold room. Executives who are paid to say no. If they say yes to a certain number of films that don't get made, their job is in jeopardy. So they're paid to say no. And we got them to say yes over and over and over and over and over again. And so when thinking about transferable skills, I knew that I could sell. And so I figured, why not sell the highest priced item? I wasn't excited about it. It was the best, worst option. It was the only option I could think of that would allow me to, I hoped, make money within 6 months and buy me time while I figured out what else I wanted to do with my life. And within 6 months, I became successful and decided that this is what I wanted to do with my life. And so here we are today.
Epic response.
Thank you.
You've only been in the business for 7 years and you've done
6.5.
sorry 6.5 years and you've done so much business. What would you define as your real estate superpower?
I think the power of listening and understanding a client is paramount. Connecting with people. Um, Real estate is considered a game of lead generation. So I have become quite good at the game, honestly. And I've found a series of ways to stay top of mind. First and foremost, though, it's providing amazing client service and then having the client tell all of their friends and family about me. And then when the client starts doing your marketing, you're consistently going to do well. And that's basically what I've done.
Amazing. Throughout the 6.5 years, what is a real estate practice that you've learned that is absolutely essential for success throughout a transaction?
Like expert communication with the other agents, managing client expectations at the same time as communicating effectively and quickly with the other agent to ensure that nothing falls off the rails. If there's bad news, delivering it as quickly and palatably as possible. Sometimes there's some storytelling involved. Um, if there's a delay, you don't want the other side to get nervous. So essentially sharing the information in a calm way that makes them feel like, okay, cool. No issue, it's going to take one more day for the deposit to come in. Or no issue, it's going to be one more day before they remove this contingency because of X, Y, and Z. I feel like if your client's expectations are managed and you're managing the other side of the transaction with that agent, unless the other agent's client does something that's out of your control, you should be in a good spot.
Absolutely. Now, in contrast to the original question, what is a real estate practice that is archaic and absolutely needs to end?
Hmm. I mean, different practices work for different people. I've never been one. I mean, I've tried it, but not consistently, and I haven't really done it much at all. I personally don't like cold calling. Is it archaic? Probably not. Does it work for some people? Definitely. For me, I want to be face to face and voice to voice. I want to actually connect with somebody. It's not just like I'm playing chess. A lot of agents are playing checkers and it's transaction to transaction. Um, I think it's tough to build a deep relation. You can build a relationship after you've met somebody, but if you're just cold calling for leads, that feels like a cold, kind of sterile way to practice residential real estate. I would prefer, and I do prefer, to establish really great relationships with people I enjoy talking with and just rinse and repeat.
Amazing. Let's get into some fun questions. What has been one of your favorite properties that you've listed or sold of all time?
There was a palatial estate at the top of Benedict Canyon, 3.6 acres, 21,000 square feet, 9 bed, 18 bath. It was an Andalusian style palace that celebrated architect Richard Landry designed, and my client built for himself. The backyard was just extraordinary, possibly the best pool in America. You had a wading pool that flowed into a lazy river, past 3 waterfalls and a grotto and a cave, past a water slide, past a koi pond with in pool see through views, under a couple bridges, past another waterfall, into an infinity pool that bled out into the sprawl of LA with views all the way to the beach and another hot tub. I've never seen anything like it. There were sharks in the house in an in wall aquarium that you could see from multiple rooms. It was just like excess, grand entertaining. And it was a really fun home to list.
That property sounds like pure magic.
Yeah.
I'm now going to ask you hypothetical buyer scenarios and where you would move if. Where would you move if you were buying a second vacation home in Los Angeles?
Me personally, probably a beach home, Broad Beach, Malibu. It's secluded, great beach access, nice community, and great lifestyle.
Great. What if you were growing your family, starting to have children? What neighborhood would you want to live in?
I'm partial to Topanga, so I'm going to say Topanga. I would also say the Palisades. Very bullish on the Palisades. I think in 3 to 5 years, it'll be potentially the most desirable neighborhood in America.
Amazing. What about if you were absolutely obsessed with entertaining and having a house full of people always?
I would honestly, I like the Palisades a lot. I mean, yeah, you know, if I were interested in something that's more central, maybe I would choose Beverly Hills, although I personally would not choose Beverly Hills if I'm being authentic. I don't really, I sell property there, but I wouldn't want to live there.
We're
I'll,
getting to know Adam.
I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Kind of going off the Beverly Hills comment, if you were obsessed with the glitz and the glamour side of Los Angeles, Angeles? Where would you find a buyer? Where would they end up? Should end up.
If I were representing a buyer who wanted that, if it were a single guy, maybe Sunset Plaza. If it were a couple, hypothetically, that I was representing, and they were looking for something glitzy, glammy, I'd say the Hills, maybe close to Chateau Marmont. Um, and then you get out of towners who just want like Beverly Hills or Bel Air.
Totally. The last question of getting to know you today is where would you want to live, or what is the most hidden gem of a neighborhood in Los Angeles?
I would say Rustic Canyon. Location is unmatched. You're in between the Palisades and Santa Monica. You get nature, you get beach access.